I will go again to analyze, go again to compare means and paired samples. Okay. Current selections here says variable 1, variable 2 is the post-test. Okay, just like that. And I click OK. Options, what do I say? Okay, still 95%. Say continue, and then I click OK. So this is my result. Paired differences. You have your mean of your pre-test, you have the mean of the post-test. The observation, you have 87. The correlation is negative. Okay? But look at the data. What can you say of the data? If the hypothesis was, is there a significant improvement in the attitude of the students after the smiley test? Can you say yes or no?
Yes.
Look, they're not sure. Can you say yes or no with the data that we have here? Yes. Look up the significance. It's 0.000. The t-value is 9.366. And look at the mean. You will compare the mean. It's 2.24, 3.02. The post-test really is bigger. This is when you will use your data for experimental study. But just for the before and after, yes. Huh? Oh, nga na. Ana siya. So you have a lot of ahas karon, no? Aha, yung naon di ay ha. So, any more question? For the yes.
What's the deviation? What's the meaning of 0.77485 in the pre-test and post-test?
Which one? Here. Okay. Let me explain to you standard deviation. When we present a mean, we always have a standard deviation. Why? Because the standard deviation tells us the nature of how spread or the nature of dispersion of the data. Standard deviation is a measurement that tells us how clustered are the data about the mean. So, kung mo mong mean, kung natay sa ka-graph din niya, atong ilabay ang atong mga data din ha, ipapilit, ang tunga-tunga namin, then you will see a lot of the other data in there. So the closeness of the rest of the data to the mean is what we call as its standard deviation. The lesser the standard deviation implies that more or less your respondents have similar views. Homogeneous kaayo ilahang view. Pero kung katag kaayo, medyo dispersed gamay. Now in this, you can only do that kung nakay 2 point of comparison, no? Panalitan kani. You will look at the pre-test, more or less, you will see probably the extremes are too high. Kanabitang natay mga highly extremes nga score, yung mabira man na siya sa mean, no? Most sure dahil na siya sa standard deviation. So this means na sa pre-test scores nato medyo katag, disperse kaayo ang atong mga scores. Pero dinhi nakita nato which is an advantage of the one who is experimenting because more or less kanang nakuha na bitaw nimo sila, you have clustered them together to be, you have convinced them towards this. More or less pari-parihara ang ilang performance. Yes, yes ma'am. You would like to say something?
For us to say that the groups are clustered or have similarities in their responses, are we just going to compare the results of the standard deviations between the pre-test and post-test, or is there a particular
talking about this data. And therefore, I was saying that the first data is more dispersed than the second data. That is was just I was expressing.
Can we use variance instead of standard deviation? Or
Can we use a variance?
Yeah.
The S
Which one
squared.
is
Why?
what?
Why would you want to use the variance?
Because I just want to see the specific spread of the data.
You can still see it here. Because variance is just the square of your standard deviation. You can just square it and
But
then
is
get.
it okay, ma'am, if you can still...
Yeah, but normally in the usual way of doing it, we do not recommend the use of variance as a display data. You can use it to interpret your data, but never use it as a display data side by side with your mean. Right now, what I'm just maybe exposing your colleagues here to is the simplest way of presenting the dispersion of data is the standard deviation. You can have the range, you can have other ways, variance, but I feel, and even a lot of scientific document is using standard deviation for distinguishing the spread of the set of data. Any more question? Any more question? Now we will go to snacks. Can we have a working snack? Okay. Let's have a working snack.